Hello everybody, Navy Vet 76 here in the gun room. Today I've been thinking about a way to get a better burn on the powder I'm using for my Cadet 4570 Trapdoor and my other trapdoors, the regular old model. I think this is 1884 date on the trapdoor. It has the spike bayonet. And some things I did was, first thing I did was change the overall length, and as you can see, there's roughly 75 thousandths, 80 thousandths difference in the overall length. This is the book, Lyman 49 book, suggested overall length for this bullet, which is the Lee 405 grain hollow base bullet, which is this bullet right here. And this bullet works pretty well in the trapdoor. I also have tried the accurate mold bullet that you've seen in my other videos. So I changed the way I did the load on my Sharps carbine. It's in 4570. And I thought I'd do the same thing with the trapdoor. So I'm loading 26 cases with 27 grains of 4198. Let me move the camera. And once I've dropped the powder in there, then what I've done is I've taken a cardboard box and I modified a punch to punch this out so that it fits tight in the case, and the case is flared. And I got a dowel and I just shove that down in there over the powder, and then just for no reasonable reason that I can explain, I put a little bit of cotton ball on top of that. Probably do not need the cotton ball, but I'm just doing it to fill up the volume here. And then pressing it in with this old Lee turret press works pretty good. Leaves a little bit of the lube on the case, and I'm just wiping that off. And it's this first ring here is just off the lands, and how I did that was I backed this die out, the seating die, and I just kept cranking in slowly until I'm just off the lands with rifling, and it works in both the Cadet and the trapdoor. So the next thing I can do is take it out to the range and see if I get more burn on the powder, because the powder doesn't completely burn, and it leaves, it's a rod powder, and it leaves some powder in the chamber and down in the bore. What I'm really trying to do is improve my accuracy a little bit, tighten the group up, get a better burn, and drop my deviation, what my chronograph is saying I have for deviation. So that's where I'm at. The weather's really bad here in northern Indiana right now. We're at, what is the date today? I think it's the 23rd of December, 2022. And it's too cold to go outside. It's -1 degrees here right now with some gusty winds. And so what I'm doing is reloading and doing some experimenting. I've marked the bottom of the primers with red so I can keep them separate from the ones that I had loaded previously. So this one, along with the Sharp's carbine, will be some experimenting with. Actually, what I'm trying to do is retain the powder in the case a little longer and keep it over the primer a little longer, and hopefully create a little more efficiency in the burn of the powder, and see how that works. The 4198 works well. I just want to try and get a little more consistency in the burn rate and see, go from there. It either works or it don't. So thought I'd share that with you. I will continue this video out at the range at a later date. See you there. Hello everybody. Maybe bet 76 out at the range. And we're finally able to get out here today. It's roughly 40 degrees outside. And I am going to try the reloads for the 4570 Trapdoor that were in the previous video I did. I made the previous video over a month ago, I guess, and I've just been waiting for the weather to change so I could get out here and test the load. There's roughly 80 thousandths difference in the overall length on the original load and my test loads. I've also been having problems with not burning all the powder, and not that it's been a real problem, but I'm wondering if I can prove deviation by just doing something different. What I did was I did a cardboard wad, and I believe some cotton on top of that for a filler to hold the powder down on the primer, because I am using the smokeless powder. I think it's 4198. I think I mentioned it in the previous video, but like I said, that was over a month ago. So I'm just going to try a new group, 45, 70, and we'll just go from there. Okay. Best at this, I don't know if it's ready to fire or not. Okay, we're ready. Oh, that sucks. Alright. I don't remember where I had this set at, but we'll just try it there, because we're just doing test loads really. That's 1,207 feet per second. And yeah, there's definitely a cotton ball. Down, yeah, down. Alright. I'm going to do a 3-shot group just to see 516. I got an error that time. That's just great. I hate it when that happens. Let's try moving that a little bit. 11:53. That one was off. 12:33. $12.73. Okay. Let's see if I got some powder down in there. I'm really not seeing any powder. I didn't bring my flashlight. But it does look like I'm getting a better burn. I've had particles of powder in the past, unburnt powder that would be down in here in the chamber. I'm not really seeing that. And from what I can see looking down the bore, I'm not seeing anything, but I can't really see all the way down. I'd like to go down range and see if I could find any of that cardboard. See what it looks like. How many have I got so far? I've got 8 shots from one that didn't record. And I'm using the Lee bullet, a 405 grain hollow base bullet. And what it actually looks like is I am brought this bullet at the top of the grease groove. How I did this was.
No more rapid fire on the line, please. 1 round a second is all you're limited to. Any firing any faster than that another time, you might not be here to shoot anymore.
So what I did was I loaded the bullet long with no powder, no primer, and I kept putting it in the chamber until it was just off the lance. And that's my new overall length. I was doing what the book suggested for an overall length, and I just wanted to see if that would improve accuracy. That one's 1161. Okay. And that's 10 shots, but one's an error, so I want to do another one. And that way it'll count 10 shots and give me my deviation and everything. That one was 1150. That's quite a bit. Okay. So It's saying my maximum was 1301 or 1301 feet per second. My minimum was 1150, which is right here. My deviation was 55.84, and the average was 1,225.7 feet per second. So we're going to save that. And I'll try and get you downrange here in a minute, and we'll see what it looks like. And since I'm using my phone, I don't have a remote, so I have to walk over here and pause it. Well, that's not bad. I was aiming down here at the bottom of the target because I can't really see in here, so I aim right there. And it shot way up there. I'm using the Buffington sight, which is what they call the rear sight on that trapdoor. And I wasn't sure which aperture I used the last time. Obviously, I was using the wrong one. But this was just test firing to try that load. Even with that lots of deviation, that's a really good group. If I had better eyesight, I would use that gun to go deer hunting. That's really good. I'm wondering if we can find any of the cardboard cutouts that I used for a wad. I don't know that it improved my deviation any, but that's not mine. That looks like a shotgun wad. I thought maybe I could find a piece of cardboard around here somewhere. I'm not finding them. They probably got destroyed when I fired it. But anyway, we're back up here. So if you look, you can see my Buffington rear sight, and it's got, if I can get a better picture, it's got different apertures on it. I can't get it to show up, but I was using the one up here at the top, and I probably should have been using the peep sight down there at the bottom. So I'm gonna run some more, and I'm really liking the accuracy. That's pretty good. But I don't know that it really changed the deviation much. I'd have to go back in the data and see. But I do think it burned more of the powder. Looks like that worked pretty well. So we'll try. All right, all right. Camera phone on again. Phone camera. And I will try using the lower aperture this time, using the peep sight. That one was 1256. I didn't start it. Yeah, it didn't read. So we need to start. All right. I don't really need to save any more data, but we'll just do it just for the heck of it. $12.56 again. 1231. I've had this trapdoor for a while. I really enjoy shooting this gun. I also have a cadet trapdoor. I thought about bringing it out today, but I don't want to spend too much time on here today. I got other things I want to do. That one was $9.50. That's weird. $12.45. What's that saying? Yeah, that last shot really made the deviation. That 952 one really messed with the deviation. If I were to take that one out, I think the deviation would be a lot lower. We got an error. I don't know. Every once in a while we'll get one. $11.98. I don't know if you can see it in the camera or not, but there's particles of cotton floating around in the air. And I can't find the cardboard. I wish I could. It's got to be here somewhere. Just a little piece of cut out cardboard. $1,211. $12.95. Speeds are really good on that. That one didn't want to load. That's weird. I'm not going to force that one. Pulled. Bulge up there. That one's going to be all the way. This is the last one. Okay. Other than that one that's got the bulge in it, they all fired. I'll show you this. I don't know if you can see that, but there's a bulge right here in the case, and it was enough to not allow it to load. Okay, let's go down range. There is using the lower aperture on the Buffington sight. I like the Buffington sight. It's easy to adjust, and if I wanted to play with it some more, I would just adjust it so that it shot to the right and up just a little bit, and every one of those would be right around that bullseye. That's a really nice group. This old trapdoor is amazing. If you've seen in my other videos on this rifle, you'll see it's always been pretty reliable shooter with that smokeless powder. Okay, well, I think what we have is a success. When I get this home and start to clean it, I will look down the barrel and we'll see what we got. I have the trapdoor at home. I'm getting ready to clean it up. I see no spent powder in there. The red stuff you see is from me marking the primer, so I know what ammo I was shooting as far as what the load. So let's look down the barrel. That's a little too bright. Try to dull that down a little bit with something. I'm not seeing any powder. I don't have that so bright. I think that worked. The cardboard probably wiped no, it wouldn't have. Well, it might have wiped the last shot, the shot previous, but I'm really not seeing any spent powder down in there. So I think that worked. I think that little cardboard wad did the job. That looks pretty good to me. Alright, here's the one that had the swelling on the case. I pulled it apart. You can probably see the powder still down in there. But you put your primer in, dump my powder in. I had little wads I cut out, and I packed that down over the powder, and then the cotton ball, and then this is the Lee 405 grain hollow base bullet, and it works really well. I'm not seeing any burnt powder or unburnt powder left in the chamber or the barrel. So I believe this experiment worked, but I just thought I'd show you what it looked like. All right.